80-pound top beauty. Relying on her position as the orphanage director, she actually used the skinny kids as emotional punching bags. Not only did she whip them 88 times 49 times a day, but also rubbed the dirt off her body into their food. Finally, under her torment, the kids completely lost hope in the director. Not only did they expose the woman's crimes across the entire galaxy, but also decades after she was imprisoned. On the day she was released from jail, they brutally killed her. Meanwhile, Bai Wei, who had been burned to death by her own sister, just happened to transmigrate into this vicious female antagonist's body. After learning the original host's fate, she panicked for 3.14 seconds. But Bai Wei quickly accepted reality. Though this body was extremely obese and seemed riddled with health issues, the system granted her an innate healing ability. Any food made by her hands could cure all diseases and quickly restore her health. Following the original host's memories, Bai Wei found the kitchen. In the corner, several children stared at her in terror, their faces covered in bruises. Bai Wei's eyes lit up at the sight. So fluffy and adorable. She swiftly started cooking. To change the vicious female antagonist's fate, she'd begin by healing the future minor villains. What's she doing? Why is she ignoring us? Before, we'd get food after each beating. She's not hitting us. Does that mean she won't give us food? No way, little tiger has a fever. If he doesn't eat, he'll starve to death. Yet the child shielded the kids behind him. A flash of green flickered in his eyes. He'd already sent a distress signal down the mountain. Those adults will definitely come tomorrow. As long as they can produce evidence, proof that this woman abuses children, they can drive her away. The little wolf pup soothed the kids behind him. Mustering his courage, he stepped forward. Matron, we'd like to trade for some food. Little tiger has a fever. He looked utterly wretched and pitiful. A large scar marred his left eye where it had been gouged, clouding the socket. Half of his wolf tail behind him was missing. He shut his eyes, bracing for a beating. So pitiful it softened hearts. Yet the expected violence never came. Bai Wei patted his little head, casually ruffling his fluffy little ears. Wait, it'll be ready soon. She deftly retrieved ingredients from the storeroom. Soon, a rich aroma rose from the pot. The kids immediately drooled, edging closer eagerly. Even the usually wary and composed little wolf pup was tempted. Beast folk rarely cooked. Even when they got food, they ate it raw. The skill of cooking was nearly extinct across the stars. Bai Wei glanced back at them, filling small bowls for each. Eat up. The children excitedly held their porridge and began devouring it heartily. The little wolf pup skeptically took a bite, unbelievably wide-eyed. So delicious. How could it be this tasty? After finishing the meal, he suddenly felt his left eye and the severed wolf tail getting a little itchy. He rubbed his eye, but didn't think much of it. Just placed the bowl in the sink. Director, we're done eating. Meaning they wanted to fight. Go ahead and hit me. The harder, the better. So when the inspectors come tomorrow, they'll see this wicked woman abusing children. Then we can use that to drive her away. Bai Wei didn't plan to change their impression of her in just one day. She simply nodded. All right, go play now. From now on, I'll make delicious food for you every day. The little ones, seeing they really weren't beaten, it all felt a bit unbelievable. Bai Wei ignored them. She carried a bowl of porridge upstairs to find Zhao Hu. Zhao Hu was a little tiger, so thin his bones were visible under his skin. He was still running a fever. His lips were chapped. Bai Wei couldn't help but feel pity. She quickly fed him the porridge. Eat up, you poor thing. Once you finish, all your pain and wounds will disappear. Zhao Hu nestled in her arms and ate. Soon, his fever subsided. The bruises on his body vanished. Still dazed, he nuzzled against Bai Wei, acting spoiled. Her heart melted. She couldn't resist holding the little one, soothing him to sleep. It was like raising a den of fluffy creatures. Bai Wei was so eager she could have started cooking right then, preparing a feast to feed them until they were plump and healthy. Outside the room, a few small heads peeked in, watching the scene. She was cradling Zhao Hu, singing, "So gentle." She was right. After eating the porridge, our wounds are gone. The little ones rolled up their sleeves to check. Every injury had healed completely. The wolf pup dragged the others into the kitchen. "Don't be fools. She might know our plan. This could all be an act. We can't let our guard down. Tomorrow, we have to make sure she gets taken away." The kitten scratched its head. "But our wounds are all healed now. The adults won't believe us." A shadow flickered in the wolf pup's eyes. He hit himself first, taking the initiative to strike. He rammed his arm into the corner of the wall, pinching and twisting. A few little ones saw this and gritted their teeth to join in. The next day, the usually desolate and run-down orphanage atop the mountain was greeted by several luxury cars. As a man in military uniform stepped out, the atmosphere grew tense. The accompanying staff quickly lowered their heads, fearful, not even daring to breathe too loudly. Except for the female, Bai Zhu, beside him. She glanced at Lu Tingyan, her eyes flickering with a hint of lust for his beauty. But she quickly suppressed it. "That's just how Colonel Lu is. I also didn't want family shame to spread. That's why I asked you to come personally. Earlier, my sister committed a grave mistake and was exiled by the family. You know this too. Who knew she'd open an orphanage here? And even abuse?" At this, Bai Zhu trailed off, looking at Lu Tingyan. "I hope you can keep this a secret for our family. After all, it's still a scandal." Lu Tingyan recalled Bai Wei. A deep loathing flashed through his gloomy eyes. "If the crimes you speak of are real, she will be taken back to the Federation and punished by law." Bai Zhu nodded with a smile. The two slowly entered the dilapidated orphanage. At one side of the hall, the Bai family's bodyguards couldn't help but whisper among themselves, "Why is the young lady being so polite to him? Isn't it said that Lu Tingyan's psychic powers have already been abolished? Are you a useless person?" Bai Wei had just finished preparing lunch when she saw two uninvited guests walk through the door. In the original host's memories, the grudges and entanglements with these two ran deep. Bai Zhu spotted her and was the first to greet her. "Sis, how did you get so fat?" As if realizing how rude that sounded, Bai Zhu quickly covered her mouth in embarrassment. "I brought Colonel Lu to see you. We came unannounced. You're not mad, are you?" Bai Wei rolled her eyes. "If you were afraid of making me angry, you could have texted me before coming. No need to put on this act now, pretending to worry about upsetting me. The fake sweetness is suffocating." Bai Zhu's expression darkened. "Meow meow? You're meow meow?" No wonder Bai Wei is so aggressive. In his previous life, he spent almost his entire life living in his sister's shadow. His sister naturally harbored some aversion and rejection toward him. But he had known the two of them were coming today, so he prepared a table full of delicious food early on. Lu Tingyan caught the warm, light aroma of the dishes and couldn't help but start salivating. Bai Zhu stared blankly at the food on the table. "You made this? No way. I don't believe it. Things I've never even seen before. How could Bai Wei possibly make them?" "Who cares if you believe it?" Bai Wei rolled her eyes and turned to call upstairs for dinner. Her voice wasn't loud, but the kids upstairs quickly stirred. The little wolf cub led 3 children down in a hurry, almost every one of them bearing injuries on their faces. The bruises on their arms were glaringly obvious. Bai Wei pretended not to see and simply said, "Wash your hands and eat. We have guests today, so I'll add 2 more dishes." She turned to the nearby stove and deftly got to work. Her movements were smooth and effortless. Lu Tingyan's gaze lingered on her skilled hands with curiosity. This wasn't something achieved overnight. Lu Tingyan averted his eyes. The children, too, didn't seem particularly surprised by this. It seemed Bai Wei wasn't cooking for these kids for the first time. The little wolf pup keenly sensed Lu Tingyan's emotions, afraid he might be deceived by Bai Wei. It quickly put on a terrified expression. "Sorry, Mother Director. You can hit us every time we have to endure beatings to get food. We're used to it. Baizu felt a surge of delight in her heart, but her face showed shock. Sis, you abuse them? Bai Wei's lips twitched slightly. She glanced over. A few little brats were carrying dishes to the table, grinning. If you don't mind, why not sit and eat together? Otherwise, my justice-obsessed little sister here might accuse me of being a poor host. Baizu rolled her eyes. Disdainfully, she said, Colonel Lu is of noble status. How could he eat this? But before she could finish, Lu Tingyan slowly took a seat. Bai Wei then glanced at the little brats nearby. The wolf pup put on a frightened face. Okay, Mother Director. We'll behave and eat. Please don't hit us. The food was delicious and savory. They couldn't hold back anymore and dug in hardly. Only Baizu was left standing awkwardly. A bit embarrassed. She had no choice but to sit down as well. Annoyed, she picked up her bowl. Bai Wei shot her a cold look. Did I say you could eat? Baizu's face instantly burned with humiliation. She slammed the bowl down. Fine. I won't eat. Who even wants it? Beside her, Lu Tingyan took a few bites. Then his pupils suddenly constricted. What's going on? At that moment, he actually sensed something in his mental sea. There was a trace of spiritual energy rejuvenation. But how could this be possible? After all, his spiritual sea had long been corroded beyond recovery in that brutal battle years ago, turning into a barren wasteland devoid of life. Yet when he carefully probed again, there was nothing left. Was it an illusion? Lu Tingai clenched his chopsticks, the light in his eyes gradually fading. He added another piece of lotus leaf wrapped chicken. After eating it, another wisp of spiritual energy flickered through his spiritual sea. He couldn't have mistaken it. It was truly spiritual energy. Lu Tingai's sharp gaze fell upon the food. Could these things be the reason? He discreetly glanced at Bai Wei sitting diagonally across from him. Bai Wei didn't need to look over there to know what was going on. The system is scanning Lu Tingyan's physical condition. The food he ate was enough to activate his healing ability. The little wolf cub also stole a glance at Bai Wei. He was just sitting calmly, eating with elegance and quietness. Since yesterday, he had noticed something off about this woman. Her entire demeanor felt different. In the past, this woman was gloomy and vicious, as if she wanted to whip them 800 times a day. She was also filthy, reeking of a foul stench. The little wolf cub recalled the past, the memory of this woman brutally tearing off his wolf tail. A flash of ruthlessness crossed his eyes. No matter what, today, it was their only chance to break free from this vicious woman. No matter how delicious the food was, he would never soften his heart, thinking like this. He couldn't help it again, rubbing his left eye obscured by scars. Since yesterday, for some reason, his eye and tail had been faintly itching. Baizu was just about to seize the opportunity to speak. But upon seeing the little wolf cub rubbing his eye, she quickly asked, Are you feeling unwell? I can see you're all covered in injuries. The little wolf cub put on a pitiful expression. Big sister, can you help us? The headmistress is very strict. Every time, we have to endure beatings just to get food. Little Tiger even had a fever yesterday. Seeing her chance, Baizu pressed further. What's going on here? You're really being abused? She glared sternly at Sister Bai Wei. How could you do this? All these years, I thought you'd turned over a new leaf. I never expected you'd become even worse. Incorrigible. How can your heart be so cruel? Baizu turned to the little wolf cub, her face filled with righteousness. Don't worry, we'll find you a new orphanage. There are still spots available in a few orphanages, including specialized shelters for feline beast folk and canine beast folk. Hearing they might be separated, the two little cat beast folk quickly tugged at the wolf cub's sleeve. Big brother puppy. The little wolf cub's mind raced with thoughts. His plan is to get this dean kicked out. Change to a dean who is responsible and treats them well. not them being separated and sent away. They can't leave. If they leave, the other little beast folk who were sold off won't find their way back home. Baizu turned her head to look at Lu Tingyan. Colonel Lu, then I'll trouble you to detain my sister at the Federal Bureau. He couldn't wait to call in the Bai family bodyguards outside. They surrounded the entire living room, but no one was willing to lay a hand on Bai Wei. This shockingly obese female. Bai Wei took her time, finished her meal, put down her chopsticks, and said, I abuse people. Where's the evidence? All you do is screech with that hoarse voice. You think this is some market anti-squabble? Whoever shouts the loudest is right. Baizu suppressed her anger. Her face showed just the right amount of helplessness and condemnation. Stop making excuses, sis. They're covered in wounds. How dare you say there's no evidence? The Federation will naturally investigate. Go to the station for questioning. The bodyguards stepped closer. They were about to move in. Bai Wei calculated. Should she set up a small self-defense tool from the system first? But suddenly, Lu Tingyan spoke up from the side. Then let's examine the injuries. If Bai Wei really hit them, the wounds will show evidence. After saying this, he waved toward the door. Two people in Federation police uniforms walked in with equipment. They scanned the little beastmen with the devices. A few minutes later, the guards respectfully presented the data to Lu Tingyan. Reporting, Colonel. The injury examination report shows all wounds were self-inflicted. No traces of Bai Wei's involvement were detected. Baizu's eyes widened. How is this possible? Your equipment must be faulty. The kitten and the little tiger both looked guilty at the same time. It was all because of the Dean. Mom had given them delicious porridge yesterday, and their injuries had mysteriously healed. With no wounds left, there was no evidence, so they had to hurt themselves and deliberately leave some marks. Baizu panicked and shouted, This can't be. Sis, are you up to something? You deliberately forced them to turn on each other, just to satisfy your twisted sadistic urges, huh? Lu Tingyan's gaze pulled away from the children. This farce ends here. Let's go, Baizu muttered darkly, shooting Bai Wei a glare, before turning to leave as well. Before departing, Lu Tingyan rolled down the car window. His eyes lingered on Bai Wei. A meaningful glint flickered in his gaze. After everyone had left, only Bai Wei and the children remained in the orphanage. The atmosphere was awkward. Bai Wei glared at the little brats with a dark expression. Oh, so I abused you, did I? The little wolf cub warily shielded the others behind him, eyes locked on Bai Wei in defense. It was all my idea, he said. If you want to punish someone, punish me. Bai Wei swept a cold gaze over the children, then suddenly slammed the table hard. You've really grown some nerve, huh? The kids flinched at the sudden noise. You looking to die or what? Daring to call people in to investigate? You think I don't know? What kind of scheme are you pulling here? All of you itching for a beating? I don't hit you, so you resort to self-harm instead? Bunch of idiots. The little wolf cub kept the others shielded behind him, silently enduring Bai Wei's fury. He closed his eyes, already bracing himself for a brutal beating. The timid kitten trembled. I'm already starting to tremble with fear. Bai Wei saw that the effect was achieved. Only then did he say coldly, Given the huge trouble you've caused me, you're punished with washing the dishes and cleaning the kitchen today. No sleeping until it's done properly. The little wolf cub waited for a long while, never expecting such a light punishment. He abruptly looked up at Bai Wei, his eyes filled with confusion. Bai Wei paid them no further attention, returning to her room after eating her fill, deliberately mimicking the original host's manner. She made a huge show of anger, raising the stakes high only to let them off lightly. The drastic contrast in their expectations would instead make it easier for them to change their view of her. Noticing there was still food left in the kitchen, the little wolf cub discussed with the kitten and the others, then secretly brought some back for the little tiger. The little tiger had already improved a lot, still coughing a bit. He asked about a day's operation. The little wolf pup shook his head. We failed. The kitten couldn't help but whisper. Actually, I think the current headmistress is quite nice now. Not only does she make delicious food for us, she also doesn't hit people anymore. Just as little Tiger was about to speak, the wolf cub frowned and glared at him first. Idiot. That's because he found out in advance that we reported him for abusing us beastkin. He's just putting on an act for the adults. The kitten was puzzled. But the adults are gone now. And he still hasn't hit us. The wolf cub snorted coldly. It's only because he knows we can report him now that he's holding back. Just wait and see. In a while, he'll go back to his old ways. A leopard can't change its spots. The kitten muttered in protest. But he's a Dutch rabbit, not a dog. The little wolf pup glared at him. The kitten quietly shut its mouth. The little tiger suddenly spoke up. Actually, I also think Mama Director seems different now. Seeing them all bribed by that damned woman's petty favors, the little wolf pup couldn't help but sulk and stormed out. As he passed by Byway's door, he unexpectedly ran into her just as she stepped out. Caught off guard, he collided into her. A faint, fresh scent tickled his nose. The little wolf pup instantly stiffened. Wary, he stared at her. Sorry, Director. Mama. Byway grabbed hold of him. Where are you rushing off to in such a hurry? Seeing her gentle expression, the little wolf pup only grew angrier. Summoning his courage, he shook off Byway's grip. None of your business. He turned and dashed downstairs. Byway shook her head, but didn't chase after him. She flipped through the original host's memories and discovered that the little wolf pup was originally a highly talented young wolf beastman. By just 7 or 8 years old, he had awakened to the 5th level and even mastered the innate skill wolf chlorant. But due to the original host's abuse, his tail was brutally torn off, stunting his growth. He could no longer level up his talents. This became one of the little wolf pup's emotional wounds. His other wound was his gouged out left eye. Winning over this little brat would take some work. It's simple. Just fix themes as the original owner made. He has healing abilities. Not worried about this. That little wolf cub hasn't come back yet after running out. The sky is getting darker and darker. He was just about to go out to look when he suddenly spotted the little wolf cub sneaking around behind a large tree. Not far from the orphanage's entrance, Byway turned and went straight into the kitchen, planning to make 2 bowls of shredded chicken and shrimp mushroom noodles as a late-night snack. The rich, savory aroma wafted continuously from the kitchen. The little wolf cub swallowed hard, unable to resist peeking out from behind the tree stump. Toward the kitchen, Byway placed 2 bowls of noodles on the dining table, positioned perfectly to face the entrance, then sat down with her back to him, letting out a soft sigh. Why hasn't the little wolf cub come back yet? The noodles will get soggy soon and won't taste as good. She knew he could hear her. Byway wasn't in a hurry. He was just leisurely eating his own bowl of noodles. It smells so good as expected. The little wolf cub couldn't hold out much longer. He walked in as if by accident and went to the stove to pour himself some water. A hint of amusement flashed in Byway's eyes. You're finally back. Are you hungry? Come have a bowl of noodles. I made them especially for you. A midnight snack. The little wolf cub had no idea what Byway was thinking. He just turned his head with a reluctant expression. Eating it would be a waste. Fine, I'll have a little. But his eagerness as he sat down betrayed his true feelings. The next day, Byway woke up well rested. He had already made plans last night. The main task now was to first take good care of himself and the little ones. His body is too fat and infertile. This is what Hef found the strangest, because in the original owner's memory, he is fertile. But after coming here, it suddenly disappeared. And there are several months of missing memories in between. Seems to be blank. He wouldn't believe it if you said there was nothing fishy about it. Luckily, the system told him his golden finger could cure his fertility issues. It's just a matter of needing more time, that's all. Just in time, the little wolf cub needs food to recover his health. So he went down the mountain early in the morning to gather immortal stones What Bai Wei didn't expect was, he had just left. Right after the orphanage gate was kicked open by a group of fierce and menacing ORCs. The little wolf pup upstairs came leering down after hearing the noise. Who are you looking for? The leading ORC grabbed him by the collar. Bring Bai Wei out here for me. You still owe me money, damn it. Where does he think's running off to? The little wolf cub furrowed his brows. He left early in the morning. If you want to find him, come later. His calm and composed expression. In the eyes of several ORCs, it was undoubtedly a provocation. The ORC immediately threw him to the ground like a sandbag. The little wolf cub let out a muffled grunt. The suffocating pain made him black out. The leading ORC, with an unfriendly expression, has swept a glance around the surroundings. Search for anything valuable and take it. Worthless stuff. Smash it. Let that bitch know what we're capable of. The other ORCs got even more excited when they heard that. They searched the orphanage like bandits. Little Fox and the little kitten couldn't escape the disaster either. They were dragged downstairs by the scruff of their thick coat collars. The beastmen came downstairs triumphantly. These few little beastmen are not bad. Fair-skinned and clean-cut. Physically intact. Should be able to fetch a good price. The little wolf cub gritted its teeth and pounced. What you're doing is illegal. Wang Biao, I'm in the suburbs. This area is France. You little cripple dare to argue with me? He kicked the wolf cub away in disgust. The scrawny little wolf cub tumbled over several times, slammed hard into the corner, looking especially miserable. Wang Biao snorted in derision. Bai Wei has no money to pay back. Of course, we'll have Tao's you to settle the debt. He's not doing this for the first time. Brothers, let's go. Sold these little brats. Let's go for a big feast tonight. The little wolf pup struggled to get up. He stared intently, the little cub struggling in the hands of the beastman. But he was truly too weak. Try as hard as I can, I still can't resist. The little wolf pup could no longer hold on. Fainted on the spot. When Bai Wei rushed back. What you see is a complete mess. The little wolf cub lay in a pool of blood, breathing out more than breathing in. Looking like you're about to kick the bucket. He personally boiled the water. Pour lukewarm mineral water into the mouth of the little wolf cub. The wounds on his body are healing. Just breathe a sigh of relief. Fortunately, the water I boiled myself also has healing powers. The little wolf cub slowly opened its eyes. He abruptly pushed the person away. You still remember to come back. Zhao Hu and the others were taken away to pay off the debt. Now you're satisfied. Bai Wei quickly snapped back to attention. His expression turned serious. Who did it? Do you know him or her? The little wolf cub glared at him darkly. Bai Wei grabbed him by the collar, coldly saying, if I were you. Now we won't waste time assigning blame. Save the person first, then we'll talk. The little wolf cub suppressed his anger with great effort. Describe the situation from this morning bit by bit. I don't know who they are. Know that one of them is called Wang Biao. Budweiser rum get through his memories. Probably know who it is. He raised his right hand. I called the police with me smart bracelet first. Then he grabbed the little wolf cub from the ground. Come with me. The feds will talk ya while to respond. We'll go stall for time first. Stop them. The little wolf cub froze. Really gonna save them. Bai Wei had already at the door. Wait for Wang Biao to escort them to the port leading to the open sea. It's really beyond saving. When the two of them rushed non-stop to the port, Wang Biao was negotiating with a few crew members. A few little brats locked up in a cage, curled up in a ball. The little facet turned deathly pale. The little wolf pup frowned with worry. Just fuck him up before he even realizes what's happening. Bai Wei had already charged forward. Stop it! Bai Wei stood in front of the cages of the little brats. Well done, Wang Biao. You actually dared to traffic human beings. Sell my children. Did you get my permission? You walked right into a trap yourself, huh? You owe me money and still try to weasel out of it. These few little biased men aren't enough to cover your debt. he said as he tried to push Bai Wei away. Bai Wei clung tightly to the cage. It's my kids. I don't sell Wang Biao. You dare to lay a hand on them, I'll fight you to the death. He winked at the little wolf cub, rolling up his sleeves and charging forward, scratching the faces of Wang Biao and those two crew members. A shrewish look. The little wolf cub quickly sized the chaos to dash over, untie the hemp rope from the cage, rescued a few little brats. Wang Biao saw the little beastmen trying to run away, flying into a rage out of humiliation. He shoved the screeching woman in his arms to the ground. Get lost. It's not like you haven't sold it before. Say no more about selling the child. Where the hell do you get the money to pay back what you owe me? Bai Wei threw herself on the ground, kicking and screaming. Block their way. Anyway, I won't sell them. These kids are my lifeline. Don't even think about messing with them. He's like a piece of sticky plaster, holding onto Wang Biao's leg. The crew member next to him wanted to chase after him. It also tripped up their legs. A few skinny people are tall and burly. It's not that I can't beat him. Just because in star damage, females are a serious crime. Even if the woman before me was an outcast, the female watched helplessly as kids were about to run away. Wang Biao flew into a rage out of humiliation. With one kick, he was about to knock his hand away. But he didn't expect Bai Wei to suddenly throw her entire body at him. He kicked him straight in the chest. Bai Wei suddenly fell backward. His head knocked against the iron bollard by the pier. Forehead got a big gash. Wang Biao's face flashed with panic. Furious and panic he drew, it's not my fault. Yes, you're Theon who rushed up here. Bai Wei came to her senses, shook his head. His body swayed unsteadily as he blocked their path. I don't care. You're not allowed to touch my kids no matter what. He's too weak. The voice was as soft as a mosquito's. A trace of struggle flashed in Zhaolong's eyes. He suddenly stopped in his tracks, looking at the little ones. You guys find a safe place and hide first. The police will be here soon. Then we'll be safe. I'm going back to save him. The little wolf pup rushed back and shielded Bai Wei with his body. His gloomy eyes glared fiercely at Wang Biao. Get lost, you big oaf who only knows how to yell. Wang Biao saw the little wolf cub that had actively come up to him. He rose in a furious rage. The broad palm transformed into sharp ape-like claws, suddenly grabbed at him. Bai Wei let out a startled cry. Suddenly, he pulled the Lidion into his plump embrace. Turn your back! He used his own back to block Wang Biao's attack. Dean Mom! The little wolf's pupils suddenly constricted, and at the same time, the federal police definitely arrived. I also personally witnessed Wang Biao lay hands on a woman. They immediately detained him. Wang Biao was so scared they quickly shook his head. I didn't mean to hit him. He ran into it himself. I want to beat up that little brat. But it's already too late. In front of the federal police, harming females can lead to direct conviction. In the end, Wang Biao was taken away, glorious and splendid, when returning to the orphanage from the hospital. It's already been 3 days. Bai Wei got a blessing in disguise, got Wang Biao's compensation money. Another batch of supplies has been added. The little guy stood in the living room, nervous and cautious, staring longingly at Bai Wei. He glanced at them with an amused look. Hungry? I'll go cook for you. Still want to eat load-sleeve wrapped chicken or not? Zhao Hu couldn't hold back and let out a huge scream. The other three all shot him a glance in unison. Bai Wei was taken aback. He's already like this. These little brats still haven't let their guard down. The little kitten looked at Bai Wei with a pleading gaze. Wipe the sofa. Dean Mom, please sit down quickly. Another little kitten carefully handed over a cup of water. Shopkeeper Mom. Drinking water. Bai Wei can't help but laugh. I accepted tiredness with ease. Only the little wolf cub looked at him awkwardly. A look of wanting to say something but feeling too shy to say it. Bai Wei looked at the little brats and said, All right. You're not hungry. I'm still hungry. I'll go cook first. A few little rascals followed around like shadows, so he handled the ingredients while opening his mouth. You must be very curious. Why have I been acting differently lately? Right or wrong, I know I treated you very badly before. But recently I regretted it. You are all very well behaved and adorable little beastmen. I want to live a good life here with all of you, whether you believe it or not. But we must always allow the wicked to suddenly repent, want to become a good person. Right or not, the Litiones seem to have understand. Byway didn't expect them to understand either. This is for the little wolf cub to hear. He's the oldest among these little ones. It's understandable. Sure enough, the sound of the little wolf cub soon came from behind. Mother Principal, thank you for saving them that day. Bai smiled and waved his hand. All right, let's get along peacefully from now on. Keep the orphanage running well. I promise that as long as you'll behave well from now on, I won't hit you guys anymore. The little wolf cub remained silent. Bai Wei knew, before the wounds on his body have healed, he will never let it go. After eating, he called the little wolf cub into the room alone. Zhao Long was a bit reserved. Dean Mom, do you need something from me? Bai Wei nodded. He's going to have it out with the little wolf cub. Have you been feeling this way every time you eat these past few days? I can feel my eyes and tail itching. The little wolf cub froze in shock upon hearing this. How do you know? Bai Wei rubbed his head. I recently awakened a new healing ability. As long as the food I make will have corresponding effects. You eat the food you make every day. The eyes will gradually regain their sight. The tail will grow back again. The little wolf pup couldn't quite believe it. The eyes and tail can heal. Bai Wei nodded firmly. Not only can it be good, it can be even better than before. I won't just cure you. I still need to heal myself. Make sure each and every one of you is well fed and chubby, healthy and well. However, my healing ability needs to stay low-key for now. Don't just tell anyone. The little wolf cub's face was full of discomfort. Then why did you tell me? He's still not used to being Garen, his former abuser. Have a calm and composed conversation. Because among these children, you are the oldest, the smartest and most responsible. The most influential. This is the most exaggerated. Fucking awesome. The little wolf cub's tail tip was perked up behind him. A hint of unease flickered across his youthful face. Got it. I'll keep it a secret for you. Bai Weixiu looked at him with a beaming smile. Then let's make another promise. I'll heal few wounds on your body. Please forgive me, okay? Let's protect the children here together. Build a warm home. The little wolf cub met his smiling eyes. After a long while, Heffenly nodded in agreement. Keep your word. During this period, a breaking news story skyrocketed to the top of the intergalactic trending list. Back then, the strongest beast spirit in the Federation was the Snow Wolf. Level 9 ORC Latingian psychic power suddenly regained a trace of, and when the news broke out, Lu Tingyan was in the office. Read a report about the Peak Orphanage being incorporated into the federal scope and documents related to house renovation. The next moment, he stared at the palm of his hand. No mental energy fluctuations detected. But that day at the Mountaintop Orphanage, his feeling can't be wrong. It's the budding of psychic energy. It seems he really needs to go there again. Bai Wei let out a yawn, staring at someone who came early in the morning. This large-scale construction team. So sleepy thaters are welling up. He went to confront Lutingyan. You brought people to work on the construction. During this time, I still have to provide meals for you guys. The assistant next to Lutingyan nodded. Yes, Miss Bai. Because the orphanage on the hill is hard to reach. The construction crew is having a bit of trouble getting meals sorted out over here. Bai Wei couldn't help but laugh in exasperation. Do you know how to cook for such a huge crowd of people? How hard can it be? I still have kids to take care of. Not your cook. It's not like I begged you to call me and do the construction. You guys better not fix it. Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. The assistant was a bit dumbfounded. I've never seen such a rude female. He gave his superior an awkward glance. If it doesn't work out, then can you just be responsible for Colonel Lu? I'll find a way to deal with these workers separately. Byway sized up Lutingian from head to toe. His face showed a mix of weariness and irritation. Come to my place for a meal. You gotta pay. I have to raise a child. Where's the money to let your colonel freeload every damn day? The assistant is sweating bullets. Although his boss is a down-and-out noble ORC, being oppressed in the military. But no matter how miserable, it's not like I've sunk so low as to be scorned and looked down upon by commoners, right? He was hesitating about how to handle it. But then, Lutinyan's low and detached voice rang out. Can it enter the orphanage to eat? Bring a lunchbox. I'll give you some. Go out and find a place to eat on your own. How dare you look down on me like that, you bitch? The assistant couldn't help but get angry beside them. This approach is just like treating someone like a beggar. Byway crossed her arms. Extremely arrogant. Eat or not? If not, fuck off. Lutinyan's eyes narrowed slightly. Shen Byway was finally satisfied. Turned around and went back to the orphanage. Inside, a few little brats are having breakfast. The little wolf cub's face looked much cleaner. The scar on the left eye has become much smaller than before. Byway looked at him. This Colonel Lu will be coming to supervise the work soon. White Wolf, from now on you'll be the one to get his meals. This is the name he gave to the little wolf cub. White Wolf nodded. Keep burying my head in eating. Ever since I found out, eating can heal his wounds later. He became the most enthusiastic eater at the orphanage. The most gluttonous werewolf. Byway returned to her room. Lu Tingai took the bait. He knew he will definitely come. People who have stood in high positions. How could I possibly be willing to stay a loser forever? As long as there's a glimmer of hope, he would seize it without hesitation. But Lu Tingai is a meticulous man. If he flatters and ingratiates himself, Lu Tingyan will definitely be able to guess. That day he delivered telecode to get his attention. He could feel Lu Tingyan's disgust towards him. But clearly, in the original owner's memories, he had never crossed paths with Lu Tingyan in his entire life. The only reason could think of. It was during that year of missing memories. Did anything happen between them? Byway hates taking the blame for others the most. What exactly happened back then? He must figure it out.